I'm not live at the moment.
That's what it says on here. It says that you're alive, so
It says I am.
yeah.
Alright. Then I'm gonna go ahead and turn my computer off. And then we'll get ready. Alright. So what topic are we going to be talking about?
Well, I'd like to know like what got us into gaming. Like, what was your first game or whatever? Who got you into this or whatever? Let's start with you.
Alright.
Who got you? What made you want to game a lot?
Alright. What made me want to game a lot was when I was young. I was always interested in shooters and when I played
Yes, I
PlayStation
do.
3 years ago. He brought
The
Black Ops
Wolfie
2
dude.
over.
Like,
Yeah. He brought Black Ops 2 over. And we grinded it, we played it all the time. And me and him was fairly good at it. And as more games came out from Black Ops 2, I went and bought Black Ops, the original first, and we played that one a lot, and Black Ops 2. Then we went and whenever Modern Warfare series started to get big, we went and played Modern Warfare series, had all the Modern Warfares, played them. They were okay. I mean,
yeah,
the old Modern Warfares are better than the new ones right now.
that is
They're
true.
classic, old, they've still got the old stuff to them. The bad thing is when you play PlayStation, is either A, modders, or B, hackers that's going around, which sucks, which is why we're on the topic of gaming. I played PlayStation and moved to PlayStation 4. PlayStation 3 was like the way to go before all of the modding and crap happened.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is with the old consoles is that a lot of people has developed like hackings and mods, and they're basically wanting to do that for the old video games a lot, and I don't know why. I think it's because where barely anybody plays them anymore. That's mainly a huge target for like different modders.
Yeah.
What I believe. The reason why people began to like mod and stuff is that people just wants to ruin other people's games and wants to have their own kind of fun or whatever, and just ruin it else for everybody else. Like we have like hackers, people that can boot off people offline, modders, mod whole lobbies. I know a few people that can boot people offline. Some of them were okay. Some of them were just not a-okay at all.
Yeah.
To me, booters are basically like the internet tough guys. They're probably fat or something like that. That in the real world, and they're just like, I'm gonna boot this person offline. Ugh.
We
I'm not
can't
saying
discriminate
everybody.
people like that because I used to be one on PlayStation. I did it every once in a while just because I was bored.
I was just trying to. I'm not saying like everybody does that. That's what I was trying to explain. I'm not saying everybody does that, but some people are known to do that.
Oh yeah. Which brings us on to the topic of games. If you could mod and do it a legit way, would you allow modding to happen on PlayStation 4 to where it wouldn't affect players and they're playing what's the word? The way that affects players on PlayStation 3, do you think it would affect players on PlayStation 4 because it's a newer console with a lot more software and system on it?
But they probably will find a way to do this. It like in the new coming PS5 is coming out, and people are gonna figure out how to mod anyways with the new PS5 coming out, which I'm like actually excited for. But
Yeah.
but do you think there might be a next gen games a whole lot? Like,
They're
do you
making
think that?
PlayStation 4 games backwards compatible, so that way that you can use them from PlayStation 4 onto PlayStation 5. For example, if you got a GTA disc from PlayStation 4, put it in GTA 5, and you ain't got to do the installation to buy a new GTA. You just got GTA 4 on disc, or GTA 5 for PlayStation 4, put it in PlayStation 5, and it still works.
Do you think if you downloaded something on a PlayStation, like do you think on the PS4, do you think they might be able to let you download it? Like say that they'll give you like a week or so to download the games that you want on your PS5 that you've had on your PS4. Like for instance, I got a Seagate 2 terabyte extended storage. And if I transfer to my PS5, do you think all the data from that could possibly work on my PS5?
It can. You can go and save certain games you want to your hard drive from PlayStation. So that way you can take the hard drive out and plug it into a computer. And you can change the files on it, but then it can corrupt the game on the PlayStation too. So you gotta be careful on how you do it and what you do with your hard drive. Because it can corrupt the games. Or if the system on PlayStation 4 is so old with certain technology that they used on the console we're using now, and it's advanced on PlayStation 5, it could corrupt the hard drive and everything that's saved on it when you plug it into the PlayStation 5. It might not want to install anything, but it still says your storage is taken up and you can't download nothing on it. Because the decades and the years of different technology can be different and change everything about what you can use from now and then move it and try to use it into the future. But we'll have to see when the PlayStation 5 comes out. And as you said, a week to get the games you want downloaded from your PlayStation 4 to the 5. I don't agree with the week. I'd say they should have a library set up on your account, like they have on PlayStation already.
Well, I was gonna say like a month or so if people don't like a week. I'd say I would maybe take a month because that's what they did for the PS4. They gave like people like a month or so to like get next gen like Advanced Warfare, GTA 5, and all the other stuff.
Yeah, but the thing is, you might not have enough time just in a month. I'd say you should have as much time as you want, so that way, say if you got a game on PlayStation 4 now and you want it on PlayStation 5 later, you shouldn't have a time limit to download it. You shouldn't be rushed to download the games you want from PlayStation 4 to 5 instantly.
I think that PS5, I've heard some news that the PS5 is indeed going to have games from the PS4, PS3, PS2, and the PS1. They're going to have it all on, like, you can all have it on the PS5. But I believe that they should put more storage into the systems if you want that many games. Give everybody like, I don't know, maybe like a 5 terabyte storage in a PS5.
I don't think you would need 5 terabytes. Maybe 1 to 2 terabytes at most. But the thing is, with Sony and their systems, they want you to spend money on extended hard drives, so that way it forces you to buy more of their games. The way I look at it, it's just a big money laundering scam. If you got low storage but want to play certain games and you can't, you A, spend money on add-ons for your PlayStation like hard drives and everything, then B, you're going to spend money on the games on the PlayStation as well.
Everything is just a major money scam, really.
Sony products are expensive. That's why people don't like to buy it. They buy the off-brand, like Chinese brands. Because it's the same thing as Sony, but works the same. It's different company, different name, but works the same.
Yeah, a lot of older consoles, like a lot of PlayStation consoles, like especially a lot of the games, they didn't need that much storage, really.
No, PlayStation 3, it had a lot of storage. I had so many games downloaded on it. I didn't hardly have to delete any games at all. I just take a disc out, place another one in, I could play the game without doing nothing.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to bring up the topic about. When I first started gaming, which we should have got to the topic to that earlier, but anyways, the one thing that really drove me to play video games, well, I started to play video games when I was like 4 years old. I had a PS2 in my room. I actually still have it right next to my PS4, I'm not gonna lie. And the first game I played was SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. That game was really fun. I grind that game every single day until I beat it.
And then
yeah. they're actually remastering that game too. It's gonna come out on June 23rd. I'm probably gonna get it soon.
Supposed to, but with all this corona and stuff
Supposed
going around, it's delaying everything. You've got so many
Hey, at least
games and jobs and everything getting delayed and pushed back.
yeah. Hey, but hey, the toll on it, from what I'm seeing, like the graph on it, it's starting to go low. Like from the numbers of cases and a lot of people that have recovered, the recovery chart is going up high really quick, and the confirmed ones are starting to go low. So
Hmm.
a lot of people have been recovering from the coronavirus, or as Trump would like to call it, the Chinese flu. And frankly, I don't blame him for that.
No, because that's where it originated from. It was a flu that happened in China from eating. People say
Yeah.
a bat, but there's different stories and topics of it.
Yeah,
But we're just gonna go
the
with
reason
bat
why-
since everybody's saying bat. I don't see why
Yeah.
people get so butthurt about it when he says
The
Chinese
thing
flu.
is,
That's technically what it is.
people get so offended about it. Like, if you talk trash about a different country or whatever, people get too offended. Like, everybody wants to be a victim these days and talk about how offended they are. Like, say the coronavirus came from Texas, and people would call it the Texas flu. Is that racist?
No.
Exactly. So why shouldn't we call it the China?
It just don't make any sense.
Like, I don't know. But as we was getting back to the topic, anyways, when I really started to game a whole lot, you see, I play Battlefield Bikini Bottom every now and then, where I was still like 4 years old or something like that. I still like play with like different toys and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
What really got me started is that on the weekends I really stayed up late, and I stayed up with my my dad. He played Modern Warfare 2 on his PS3 when that came out. He actually let me play that game like every now and then, but when I was still young, like around 5 or 6, he turned down the volume to where I didn't have to hear all the language and all that other stuff. And then the next game that really brought me to gaming was also Ghostbusters, the video game, which they came out remastered last year, I believe. Which I gotta say, I don't care what everybody says, that game is fun. I believe it's a really good game.
Yeah.
And then I started a game a whole lot where my dad get days off and I can't play on his PS3. I got more games on my PS2 than what he had on the PS3. Also got the Ghostbusters game on the PS2, which was a different graphic model, because the PS3 version was realistic and the PS2 version was like a cartoonic kind of version.
Yeah.
And then it continued on more games and another system actually. I got the Wii and I used to play like Wii Sports, Mario, and Donkey Kong Country, and much different games. And then what really brought me into shooter games was actually Ratchet & Clank Deadlock. Ratchet & Clank Deadlock is probably one of my favorite Ratchet & Clank games ever, to be honest with you. That game was so fun. Whenever the PS4 came out, I took my dad's PS3 because we didn't have enough money at the time to buy another PS4. So I bought his and I played like Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare, bunch of different games. And then every now and then I play like the Wii and stuff. Actually, I played the Wii more than the PS3, I'm not gonna lie to you. I have much more different games on the Wii than what I had on the PS3. Around 2013, like around when Black Ops 2 was still around, there's this game called, I don't know if you've maybe heard of this. Have you heard about Skylanders?
Yeah.
Dude, that game, bro, I wanted the game so bad and I got it for my birthday. There's like 32 Skylanders and I bought about like 28 of them.
I didn't
almost
think
had-
Skylanders blew up. A lot of people didn't play it that I've seen on YouTube. So, from my opinion, not many people catched on to that because people were still into like older styled video games that was meant for animals and battling and stuff, like you said, Ratchet and Clank, or uh can you give me a couple ideas of some games that's similar to Skylanders?
Uh, well, there is some games like Lego Dimensions,
Yeah.
Disney Infinite, which I did not like. I played it at a friend's house. It was a rip-off of Skylanders, in my opinion.
Yeah. Even though it's the same, I think it's the same company, if I'm not mistaken, that made it.
It was a Toys for Bob. Toys for Bob wanted to launch like a new thing for Disney, but when the Disney Infinite come out, half the amount of people liked it, but in my opinion, I didn't like it. But when they started to bring the Star Wars theme into it, they didn't have like any levels or anything. That's what brought Disney Infinity down a whole lot.
Yeah.
Because you can only play as the Star Wars characters that you bought, but they didn't have any levels with it. That's what brought it down. But Skylanders was basically the big dog of Toys for Bob games. Like, it dominated every competition for bringing toys to life on a video game. It dominated every single rivalry that there was, but in 2016, after Skylanders Imagineers came out, a lot of people grew older like I did, and I didn't barely even get to play the game so much. It's where I grew older and I wanted to play different games, and then I lost my interest into it.
A lot of people that grows older that used to play games like that, they're now into COD and stuff, and as most family homes have, they have younger siblings and they catch on to the video gaming thing. People that grow up with old games like that move on to COD. Their younger siblings see people playing COD like their older siblings, and so they're like, I want to be like them and grow up like them and play that video game. And so they're moving on to a teenage phase when they're younger, like 9, 10, 11, and they're playing Call of Duty and playing all these shooters, and people see a problem with it. I don't. It's just a video game. Let your child play what they want.
I don't see the problem of it, but the thing is that you gotta teach them to not get into the fluence of it. Like, you can't act like the real world is actually a video game. That's what my parents did. But they helped me like teach what was right and wrong, and to not repeat the same fluence that I see in a video game. Now, but if it wasn't a shooter game like Sonic the Hedgehog, I normally did that was like 4 years old, 5, something like that. I reenact all of that. But my mom didn't see a problem with that. I just ran the whole time. Just jump through different like obstacles I see, like jump through, I don't know. Basically, my room was a wreck back then.
Yeah.
But if you see something bad about that, then you're probably wrong. If your kids reenact like shooter games or all that other stuff, saying you're gonna shoot up that place or do all that, that's called bad parenting, in my opinion. If people blame the video games, blame yourself for that.
And
If kids are going out and acting like they want to shoot everything up, and parents are blaming the video games, I blame the parents, honestly.
I blame the parents and their atmosphere, what they could be raised from. Because most people, they have a bad childhood if they're targeting places like shootings or massacres, homicide, suicide. They usually have a bad life, and they just want it to be gone or seek attention. It can't be just the parents' fault. It can be pointed in many different directions, but what they grow up with is what they grow up to be. If you've ever heard that saying, Raised bad,
I've
do
heard,
bad, you are bad. As you're young, you see bad and you don't think anything of it, and you do the same thing as you're older, and it turns out to be pretty bad, and you don't know. Because you never raised any better, you
yeah,
just raised the wrong way. Or if you raised in the
yeah.
wrong atmosphere, you had
So,
good parents, but a bad atmosphere of different people. It depends on who you would hang out with and what you raised around, like I said.
any bad influence from my friends, like they do, I just live my life however I want, and I just go with the flow of how I want to live my life and how I want to keep on, continue it on. Really, that's how
Yeah.
I'm going.
I just play video games for fun.
Yeah,
I rage, I get mad and do whatever, but I just play it for fun. It's just a video game.
yeah.
I just want to
And we blame Alan
experience
because
games.
obviously we have to.
Yeah, I just want to experience the game life.
Yeah.
Every game has its own feel to it. And people just can't seem to cope with it's just a game. Some people take gaming too serious, and some people just goof around and don't take it serious at all. I'm the dude that takes it serious, kinda, but then at the same time don't. Because if something stupid happens, I'm like, okay, well, if it keeps happening, then yeah, I'll take it serious and get mad over it. But if it's just a couple times, I'm like, just brush it off. I don't really care.
So yeah, you should obviously know I take nothing seriously.
Oh, I know.
I'm the type of person that does not care what I do. I take nothing seriously at all. Especially when
Speaking of taking nothing serious, do you think that we should revert to our PlayStation 2 games with the bad graphics or PlayStation 4 and advanced?
I believe they should like at least upgrade the graphics on it.
Yeah, some of the PlayStation
And
2
fix
games
no,
weren't
and
bad.
also they should fix up all the bugs that they had with previous games too.
Like I said, Ethan, not serious topic. We are on a gaming topic today.
I know. We're just talking about regular video games and all other stuff.
Speaking of gaming, we're going to be moving from story time to what we think of newer games are, like The Division. SnowRunner was one of the hot games blowing up right now. What is
Snail
your
Runner. Snail
opinion?
Runner.
Snow? I said snow.
I thought you said snail. I was about to say, wait, that's a game?
What is
Like,
your
what-
opinion
like,
on
how
the
fa-
new games
how-
now?
The new games can be okay. The graphics has definitely brought up throughout the years. But, with this new thing called VR, it's not that bad. I like it. But there's just too many buttons and you can barely see what you're doing with all the joysticks that you, can do. Now believe me, it's fun. But, I just get struggle playing, like, VR games or something like that.
You see, I don't have a VR, so I don't have that problem. But I'm wanting to get one. And I would
I'm
set it up
wanting to get-
next to my PC and my TV. And I would probably play VR chat or different types of VR games. Like first person
that's what-
shooters and military, so I get like the feeling of being in like a realistic first person COD that you can move around and do whatever you want in.
The thing about the VR is actually play like Call of Duty with it too. You don't have to like play like VR games. You just have the VR headset on, and that's pretty much what you gotta do. You can even watch YouTube videos on it.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's interesting. I have a VR thing where it holds my phone into it, and I just slide it on my head, and there's the YouTube option where you can use it for VR, and it's interesting. They got VR videos, and that was quite interesting. That was, I think, one of the first things of VR that first came out. It was like the little phone things that you could use for VR, and then you'd be able to interact
An
and
Oculus
move around
Rift?
with it. Yes, Oculus Rift. Jeez.
Man, used to you didn't have to buy so much expensive stuff.
Nowadays, technology is advancing. It's getting expensive. I don't think they should raise their price on technology as it advances. I think they should keep it
No.
the same price as what everything else should be.
Yeah, like different
not
consoles
go
are like
cheap to where
200.
everybody's bankrupt, but like make it cheap to where it's affordable for everybody. Because some people
Yeah.
gotta scrap as their gamers. They gotta scrap so much and do so much work to try and get a game that they want to play with their friends. I mean, as a gamer, I can understand the work and the struggle you want to do for a game, but if it's like a $60 game and you only get like $1 out of a month just for like doing a chore, or $5 a month for doing chores or whatever, they should make the games at least a little bit cheaper for gamers to afford. So that way they got a bigger
Yeah.
gamer base platform to play with, and they should also have this thing opened up to where if you are available during all this crisis and people stuck at home, Sony, Microsoft, all the other video games, Activision, Sledgehammer, Ubisoft, all those people, you should be able to do testing for video games to see what a big player base would be for your next video game and what you could do for it. Get ideas of what you want in the video game instead of just throw stuff out there and see if anybody likes it or not.
See, the thing is that a lot of game producers, they just release the games like early, like say Call of Duty. It comes out once a year too, once a year. And the thing is, they have too much updates trying to fix up all the bugs. Like this new Modern Warfare, it takes too much space.
Yeah, especially
takes
with the original Modern Warfare platform, and then it also has the Battle Royale slash Royal thing. I don't even know. Warzone? I don't even play it. I'll probably get backlash for it, but anyways. The Warzone thing, it's 100 gigabytes on its own, and then the Call of Duty on its own for the multiplayer and the campaign is like 100 gigabytes on its own. Plus whatever else you bought for it, like premium or season pass, that's gonna be like almost 200, half to 250. That's too much for a video game.
I personally think that you have to work on it a lot more to make it a perfect game instead of having to fix a lot of bugs and all that stuff into it.
You should have players go and experience what could be wrong and how it could be fixed. And then you, as the developers, as your job would be to go and fix it.
Here's the thing too. Ghostbusters the video game. The producers on it and the editors wanted it to make it a perfect game, and they did. When it first came out on PS3, it didn't have so much bugs on it for players, and it had so many glitches on it. It was a perfect game. They took up a lot of time and made people wait for a long time. And a lot of people accepted the wait in order to get that game, like my dad did. He loved it. He loved it to death. I loved it to death. It was a perfect game. Especially when their new multiplayer came out. It didn't take up too much storage. It took like a few megabytes or something like that. No like glitches or updates like once a month or whatever. It was perfect for online gaming too. Me and my dad and my friend and his dad was actually up in the top 10 area of Ghostbusters the video game. We just grinded that game until we burnt the disc. We just captured too many ghosts, that's the problem. We was up in the top 10.
Wow.
We grinded that game.
Speaking of game grinding, do you think people grind games too much nowadays?
No, not really. People just wants to play games just to get better at it. I can completely understand that. Like, people take games way too serious, in my opinion.
You see, if you are, during this pandemic, are stuck at home and you're a gamer, you're obviously going to grind a video game. Most people's doing SnowRunner right now, and The Division, and Warzone. Most people doing Warzone and SnowRunner. I've been grinding SnowRunner on PC. I like it, but then you've got other people that it's been out since April the 28th, SnowRunner, and everybody's already got so much of the game finished. Some people's already got it finished without doing any sleep at all, and that's not healthy for people because people take the game not serious, but they don't want to waste time. They just want to get everything finished and get the game and get everything done. You should take your time and experience the video game instead of go through, just play and get it done with. Experience the feel for the game, the emotions it's going to put you through, the emotions that you're going to think. Use your thought process for the situation it's going to put you in, what you need for the situation, stuff like that.
Modern
People
Warfare
grinding
2.
Warzone. There's so much strategy option that's there. People for either the old Red Dead or GTA 5, where they was given information on an Easter egg they were going to drop another Red Dead soon.
Yeah.
But don't correct me on that. I believe it was GTA. I think
Yeah.
it was a Rockstar game, if I'm not mistaken. But it was one of the new famous games that people play now. They had an Easter egg where it would drop that they would have a newer game that's like a part 2 or part 3 being dropped soon.
I believe that that if there's a video game on that console and the console that you have doesn't have it, I believe they games should come out on the same consoles. That way they can like stop like all this arguing saying, "Yo, my console's better, that console's better, that console's trash, your console is trash," and all that other stuff. People just criticize too much on what's a better console, really.
Yeah, because if Sony and Microsoft came together, instead of doing their crossplays on different platforms, if they became into one platform, they would have Forza, The Crew, they'd have so many updates for GTA 5 that would be leaked on PlayStation, they'd have PlayStation Premium games that only PlayStation players have, they'd have Xbox players that only Xbox has, only PC games that only PC plays. You'd have all those games combined into one console. You'd have a huge fan base of all the different games, and so many companies getting all so much money, but they gotta assign it to certain consoles.
What I think is that those two companies should merge together and make their own like console for instead of having to fight each other like the Playbox or something like that.
Not a Playbox, but like
Call it the Playbox X, the X Station 5.
actually, the
or
X Station
whatever.
wouldn't be that bad. They could call it like an X Station or something. I think X Station would be a good name if they had to combine their companies.
X Station, yeah.
And on behalf of Sony, whatever games they have and partnership they would have with Activision and Sledgehammer, or Sony with the guys that made Spider-Man, the new one, those guys, they could have a deal going on where they can help Xbox/Microsoft and their development on new games like that, instead of only having the new Spider-Man for PlayStation only.
I play that game.
It'd be a lot
pretty
better
fun.
if they could do it on Xbox and PC as well, which I'm not sure if Spider-Man is on Xbox or not.
It's
Or,
not.
Xbox,
It's only
but
on
PC.
PlayStation.
I don't know if it's on PC or not,
It's not.
so it's a PlayStation exclusive only. So many people is
Yeah.
being forced to buy Xbox and PlayStation to play the games that they want with their friends. For example, I have a friend, I'm not going to say his name, but he has an Xbox and a PlayStation. He plays PlayStation to play GTA with us. We goof around, have fun, make some money. Then he has Xbox he plays his other friends with, so he can play Forza, Halo, stuff like that. You see, all those games would be on both consoles. You wouldn't have the rivalry and combat between both of them, or backlash between both of the systems. Because whatever game they're going to have on Xbox is obviously going to be on PC. So most PlayStation gamers is either going to have either a PlayStation with Xbox games or a PC, so that way they can have the Spider-Man on PC, they could have Halo on PC, Forza on PC, or
Black Ops 2 on PC.
yeah, and you
I
wouldn't have to
honestly
go in
want-
conflict with all of this because you can still play Xbox 360 players with Xbox One, if I'm not mistaken. Because Microsoft is the same company, Xbox 360, Microsoft One players are still able to play together. If I'm not mistaken, don't correct me on that. I haven't tested that. I'll have to go
Thing
to
is,
Ohio and
if-
test that.
I don't know why they only made Black Ops 2 for like Xbox and not for PlayStation. That game was honestly
Xbox
not
360
bad.
and PlayStation 3 came around at the same time. People still play Xbox. And if I'm correct, you can still play Black Ops 2 with Xbox 360, but with the people as the Xbox One, you're able to play with them on Xbox 360 as well through crossplay.
You are.
Microsoft company.
I just don't know why people just don't. I don't know why they can't just make games for both platforms or whatever.
No,
I don't know why you can't like put like PC games on like PS4 and Xbox, like
it
Gmod,
took
Team Fortress
PlayStation
2.
so long, and Microsoft, they had a partnership with Bohemia for DayZ, the standalone version, where their DayZ came out with Xbox. It took PlayStation almost a year to 2 years. It took more than a year, like a year and a half to 2 years, for PlayStation to get the DayZ standalone, just like Xbox. I don't see why it takes them so long for them to develop. They just got to change the number of buttons, because PlayStation has the touchpad. They just got to change the A to X and B to square, stuff like that. And I don't see why they just can't go and have a system where if you have a PlayStation or an Xbox, it wouldn't matter the console. You could still play whatever game. They'd have a bigger fan base on either console. It'd either be more people on PlayStation that would have the Microsoft games, or it'd be more people on Microsoft playing Microsoft and PlayStation games, or people on PC that does PC gaming only that don't get PlayStation exclusive games. They have
In
a
my
PC
opinion,
and they
though,
play with like so many games.
here's my opinion. Xbox players are probably one of the most toxic players I've ever met. They're too
Yeah.
toxic. They're very hostile to everybody.
I've had a couple people like that on Xbox, but there's some people it's not that bad.
Lot-
From my experience on
lot-
PlayStation or Xbox, PlayStation has a more toxic level of players. Xbox
I
has
don't
more
think
like,
so.
oh, you're gay and stuff like that, like just hate speech
Xbox
and haters,
play-
nothing.
I think Xbox players are probably the most toxic people I've ever met.
I've had a lot of toxic people
So
on
listen-
PlayStation.
So
Xbox,
hold
not
on.
that much.
hold on. So listen up, you gay box players. Quit being toxic and go change your batteries.
You see, now it's going to receive
'Cause-
backlash from both of us.
I don't care.
Don't be
I'm a rebel.
toxic for Xbox players. You're like, as I was saying, you're being one of the toxic PlayStation players that I've countered before. Either they
I
have
don't know what you're
PlayStation
talking
games
about,
over
man.
the Xbox. But would you rather
Listen, man, they
have PlayStation games and PlayStation only, or would you rather have a PlayStation with Xbox games like Forza, one of the most realistic driving games there is?
well, I'd like to have a cross platforms that have both consoles on each.
Yeah, or would you not like to play
I can't
Halo
speak
on
for them.
PlayStation?
Ooh, can you
Yeah.
imagine how much money Sony would make?
Not just Sony, but the manufacturer of Halo. I can't remember who manufactured Halo.
I can't remember
I
either.
can't remember the developers and the publishers of it.
Bro, could you imagine the manufacturers get so much money out
Not just the
of that?
manufacturers, but the developers, manufacturers, and the console company. They'd have so much money going through.
That's what.
I don't see why PlayStation.
So here-
And I heard from PlayStation, not PlayStation, but I've heard from different sources that PlayStation is being stubborn and they don't want to sign a partnership with Sony, not Sony, with Microsoft, because they think they're going to have something happen between Sony and Microsoft, which is going to split their platform, and then they're going to lose some type of battle or something. Xbox and PlayStation have had a battle for so long. If they could just come together and come to terms of agreement to where they can build one ultimate console, you'd have Halo, Forza, Spider-Man, you'd have a bunch of PC games that would come out for PC and Xbox come out on PlayStation at the same time it does on Xbox.
If games like Halo and Spider-Man were on both platforms and all that stuff, the developers would have so much money for both consoles, because those games are really fun.
The console people, Microsoft and Sony, worry about their money on their half. They don't worry about what the developers and publishers make on the video games. They just worry about how much they sell on the video game they have on their console.
Nintendo's pretty stubborn. Actually, really stubborn, to be honest, because they got Mario and all that other stuff.
Nintendo's part of
Nintendo
Microsoft.
games only.
Did you not know that?
No.
Nintendo has a partnership with Microsoft because you can take an Xbox controller and you can plug it into your Wii U, if I'm not mistaken. Also, Wii U has the exact 60 or an Xbox One.
Yeah.
They have a partnership with Xbox, and they also have a bunch of Xbox games that comes out for Nintendo as well.
I don't think I've ever seen like a Mario game on Xbox.
No, I don't know.
I don't think that was it. If
No, because it's like a retro game that was back like early so and so.
No, it's not
Early
retro
2000s
anymore.
and 90s. Mario's like
Based
an old retro like game. Not the game itself, but it's like an old retro based game. Not many people goes for like the newer styled Mario where it's like third person, or first person. People don't go for that. They go for the old retro arcade style Mario.
You can buy that on Nintendo.
I know. Now, I don't know if either one of the consoles have that. I know Wii has it. The Wii U.
PS3 has like the older, not PS3, but PS4 has like all the older games like PS Now.
Mm-hmm.
They also have digital ones too, so, and they run pretty perfectly, I'm not gonna lie.
On Xbox 360 and Xbox One, as I was saying, I think they're able to cross-play each other because backwards compatibility. They can take their 360 Black Ops 2 or Advanced Warfare and use it on their Xbox One and play. Which is very fascinating and awesome at the same time. Because if Sony could do a partnership with that, you'd be able to backwards compatible between the Xbox 360, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4 for Black Ops 2. And I know I've heard that Xbox and PC play together, which I'm not sure about. I know through crossplay on Modern Warfare you can play with PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, but PlayStation or Xbox and PC on their own on two different consoles playing together, I don't know. I'd have to confirm that.
A lot of game developers just wants to throw their games out so early, like it has too much bugs, and they always have to.
You see, most bugs are discovered by players instead of the developers because the players go and do stuff and goof around and they discover glitches. And then people take them to their ultimate advantage and do wrong with the glitch. People like GTA, there's already a couple new money glitches out and Rockstar has to watch the videos because the players discover it. And so many people in GTA, they glitch for fun. Just to see what type of glitches there is, tell friends, upload videos, and then so many people do the glitches and get so much money and take advantage of Rockstar. Rockstar, they're going to end up having to do no more updates or so many updates like Modern Warfare does. It's going to be ridiculous to fix all the bugs. And what I think that Rockstar, as I was talking about before, and all other game developers and publishers should do is have players For example, if I wanted to, I could go test their game and discover any bugs and tell them about it so people can exploit it and use it to their advantage. Or you go around and discover any bugs or glitches going around, tell Sony or Rockstar or whatever about the glitches, and they'll go and patch it. People
No, the
should
thing,
go and discover it and tell Rockstar and help Rockstar instead of take it and do wrong with it.
what pe people do is that they always take these glitches to their advantage and try to cheat in their own way, like cheat the game out. What I think is that they have to. The game developers, like Rockstar, for example, you know how they make like a GTA about like a years separate apart, like, and also Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
That's because they work their hardest time to make sure it's a perfect game, make sure that they can't have like glitches on all that. But people always try to find their own glitches, and that's what's ruined the game. And they're trying to fix that and have too many updates, and that's what's ruined all the fun for people and take up too much space.
I mean, Rockstar's updates really ain't that big.
They ain't that big.
Unlike Sledgehammer and Activision's New Modern Warfare, where you need like 60 to 80 plus gigabytes to download it. Just ridiculous.
Just don't know why they can't, like Modern Warfare, for example, take up more time and wait until, like, I don't know, 3 years from now to stop all the glitches and all that other stuff and fix all the bugs. I just don't see why they can't. Because apparently they just want to get all the stuff worked out and they want to make money. That's probably why.
Developers, some people don't worry about just making money off of it. A lot of them do, but some don't. They just genuinely put a game out for fun. Like America's Army Proving Grounds. The Army themselves made that video game and published it. And there's hardly any glitches in it. I ain't let alone seen one glitch in that game. And I ain't seen any videos about that game. There's some people that's able to make a really good game. And then people that's able to play it. Then you've got people that plays GTA or Call of Duty or some type of game like those that's similar. And you got people that goes around and glitches for fun. It ruins the experience for the players.
Now, the people that ruins the game the most is probably people that boot people offline just for their own fun. Is that a lot of people like to boot people offline just for their own fun. That ruins their experience and how they want to play the game, and like how they play the game. It just ruins people's fun.
Yeah.
Now, some booters ain't like that. Some booters will give you a warning and all that other stuff. But I really think that, like, Sony and Microsoft should go through the players' info on anything PC-wise or something like that. Like that can hack the game, boot people offline. They should be like reported and all that stuff, or be banned from their accounts.
Sometimes the developers, like Sledgehammers, they get reports about it, but they can't detect anything, so they don't do nothing about it. If they can't detect it and get proof of it, they can't do nothing about it. They just look at it as either a false report or an accidental report. Most of them false reports, they list them as. Because if they ain't got proof of it, or anything, now that we're talking about it, Ubisoft, how they have mouse and keyboard players playing on it for PlayStation. You can't do nothing against it. Not Microsoft, but Sony can't detect the mouse and keyboard. People get reported for it, but they can't tell because so many people use mouse and keyboard on PlayStation. They ain't able to hardly detect mouse and keyboard the Sony controllers, and so they're like probably a false report to just try to get this dude kicked off. So they just don't do nothing about it.
Now, some games will allow you to turn off cross-platform. That way, they won't have like players like PC players, mouse and keyboard players.
Like
Modern
the new
Warfare
Modern
does
Warfare. But
yeah.
Ubisoft don't. Ubisoft has their own system where if you play PlayStation, PlayStation only, Xbox, Xbox only. The thing is, people was able to take a certain mouse and keyboard through an adapter, or there's a couple of them that they can take through adapters, plug it into the PlayStation, mouse and keyboard on GTA for PlayStation, mouse and keyboard on Ubisoft Rainbow Six Siege, which in retrospect, Sony can't look at it. They can't see, they can't detect. The only way I can think of if I were Sony is to either remove the keyboard compatibility on the PlayStation or contact Ubisoft, tell them the issue, see if they can negotiate a way where they can allow mouse and keyboard on Microsoft's behalf through Ubisoft on PlayStation. So you have the option to play with mouse and keyboard players and console PlayStation controller players. So that way there's less mouse and keyboard players that is on PlayStation, so they can be champions or high ranked whatever on Siege with people that's good on mouse and keyboard playing on PlayStation with controller people only. They should just flat out just have keyboards enabled on Rainbow Six Siege and have the compatibility to turn it off to where if you are able to play with controllers only or Microsoft mouse and keyboard only.
I think they should like put. I think they should be able to not put any cross-platform anything, like be able to plug in their mouse and keyboard at all, because about 90% of people will do that and cheat about every single game that you get into.
Yeah, because people don't like to play by the rules and people like to cheat and use mouse and keyboard or an advantage. People on PlayStation, they come across mouse and keyboard players through adapters all the time. If they would just enable mouse and keyboard on the game and have some type of system set up to where if you're playing on controllers only and you're able to detect an adapter being used through mouse and keyboard on PlayStation, you should be able to straight ban them. Because there's some people that's able to detect it, where if it's mouse and keyboard versus controller players, mouse and keyboard don't get banned. I've had that happen a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say I get rid of the big problem of mouse and keyboard versus controller players on PlayStation. Like Siege and everything, how it's disabled. I'd say I get rid of the big problem of it.
Get rid of every single one of that, for real. But, no, what else to talk about? Do you want to end the podcast?
Well, I'd say we can add one more topic before we end the stream.
Yeah. What has been your favorite video game that you've ever played?
From my perspective, my favorite video game I've ever played, like recently or just in general?
Just your whole lifetime, or how long that you want to play, how long have you been playing it, just whenever this has been.
I think from PlayStation 3, it'd either have to be the original Modern Warfare 2, because I played the campaign and multiplayer of that so much, the original Modern Warfare 3, or it would be Black Ops 2, because Black Ops 2 was a smashing hit on PlayStation, and I think it was a smashing hit on Xbox as well, because it was like a next-gen version of Black Ops, boots on ground, hardly any flying with jetpacks, nano suits, exosuits, whatever, like advanced, infinite, and stuff like that. People prefer boots on ground instead of up in the air and flying around with jetpacks and stuff like that. Some people like the futuristic feel. I get that. But there's a bigger platform of people that likes boots on ground.
Yeah, that's what World War II was wanting to do, wanting to bring Call of Duty back to its roots, and they made a good success out of it. I liked World War II,
World War II was
but the
really good.
zombies, yeah, World War II was good. I can't. These zombies was okay.
I can say out of
It was
any
okay.
Call of Duty, if there was a zombie battle, I'd rather go against the Black Ops 2 zombies than the World War II zombies personally, because if you got one of those big boss dudes from the Nazi submarine base coming at you, no, I wouldn't even go close. Wouldn't even be on that beach. Wouldn't even be anywhere near there if I knew what would happen. I'd rather go against Black Ops 2 zombies any day because I know how to conquer them. They're easy.
Yeah, and also they would have bosses like every round, not every round, but every now and then, like basically every 5 to 6 rounds.
Yeah.
And as long as you keep beating them, it will get harder and harder, and they'll also give you enough time to upgrade your weapons and pack a punch them, in order for you
Black
to
Ops
get
3 with the Panzer.
get better. Yeah. It was easy on the first time it was there, then it get harder the next time, and then the next time, and you kept on pack a punching, get more max ammos and all that other stuff. It got easy. It got easy. I wish like Black Ops not like every zombies game was like that.
Yeah. I think that they should have different types of pack-a-punch, where if you, or not pack-a-punch, but mag or fast mags and stuff like that. I think they should have that, but also go back to Black Ops 2 to where you pack-a-punch it, your attachment would change. For example, the DSR-50. You go with a scope to a suppressor to iron sights, and I used the iron sights with the DSR-50 on town. That thing was destroying zombies left and right. Then the Galil on zombies. They should bring back like they did the RPK or the AN-94 or K-74, the Mini AK, the M16, all those games that they had from Black Ops. They should add some games from Black Ops 2 like the AN-94, the USMC, and stuff like that. They should add Galil into zombies as well, where you can pack-a-punch it onto the next-gen PlayStation 5.
I just say bring every game back in PS5. I say that.
I would agree
Upgrade
with
the
that,
graphics,
because they would
upgrade the
get so much
gameplay.
more money.
No, listen, upgrade it. Upgrade the graphics, upgrade the gameplay, make sure there's no glitches or anything on your PS5. There, said and done. It's not that hard. You can literally have all the time in the world. Make people wait if you have to. Make everything perfect, okay?
Yeah, was it Treyarch or Activision that made Black Ops 2? I think it was Activision.
Treyarch. It was Treyarch.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay, Treyarch, where they made Black Ops 2. I think they would be able to just go from, like, a developer's perspective. They can go onto their PC, they can add more graphics, like better graphics, and upgrade the settings onto it to where it's able to adapt to the more console-like feel to PlayStation 5, Xbox One, instead of having the old bad graphics and having HDMI cords for like better graphics and lighting, quote unquote, even though the graphics ain't that much better. They'd be able to go re-graphic everything, probably set some new stuff, like have some Black Ops 3 weapons on a remastered Black Ops 2. Because a lot of the Black Ops 3 weapons were pretty balanced and alright. Like Peacekeeper and the original M16. The M16 was on Black Ops and Black Ops 2. Then they brought it into 3. And like a futuristic
It was pretty
version of
balanced.
Black Ops 4. It was pretty good. On multiplayer, the M16 is solid. And there's a way to counter it too. It's very solid, very good build. Same thing with DLC weapons you get out of the pack. I'd say if COD would have more COD points, like through tiers and stuff, they would have COD points spread out through tiers a lot more. You wouldn't have so many people spending their money on COD points, which is what the developers literally want, because they want people to buy COD points or shark cards like GTA and stuff like that, so they get extra money out of whatever they make from the game and whatever people purchase in game. Because
But with the new Modern Warfare, you can actually like grind, like, you know, the battle pass, you get free weapons for that.
yeah,
If you level up, you just gotta play the game. That's all you have to do.
yeah,
But at least you don't have to like buy or anything. You can access. Everybody has access to the gun and won't be unfair for other players.
yeah. Black Ops
Even
2.
even if different battle passes end, you can still like do challenges to still get it. Like I have to right now, honestly. But I never got to explain my favorite video game yet, so I'll go ahead and do that. My favorite video game would have to be I don't know.
Knowing you, it would probably be Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I would probably say that.
Knowing you, I knew Ghostbusters was on your mind.
Yeah, Ghostbuster. I don't care what people say. That game was fun. I grinded that game. I played the story mode a million times. I played the multiplayer a million times.
I'm just gonna say, if
That
somebody
game was-
don't like a video game, they're just hating on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can understand if you don't like it, but don't hate on it. Say, hey, that game's bad, you shouldn't play it, or else you're gay or whatever. They shouldn't hate on the person playing it, because what if they like the Ghostbusters reality or dimension? You know, people like that. People like the Ghostbusters in fictional games. People just don't seem to be friendly anymore. It's always talks and
Yeah.
this and that and swattings and stupid stuff.
The thing is what was I gonna say? You see, you seen the Ghostbusters that came out in 2016, right?
Yeah.
I don't like it because I think it brought out a bad influence of what the Ghostbusters used to be. The comedy on it was a lot better on the original Ghostbusters than what it was on that one.
Are you dissing on Bill Murray?
No, I'm not dissing on Bill Murray. The Bill Murray Ghostbusters, like the ones that came out in the 1980s, was a
Those
perfect
really,
movies.
really good.
Those are my
I
favorite
agree with
movies.
Those are really good.
Yeah, the 2016 Ghostbusters though, not saying cause all the Ghostbusters were girls, I'm saying it wasn't a good movie.
I'd say when that movie with the female version of Ghostbusters came out, I think it gave so many Ghostbuster people a wrong feeling about it, how women are taking over. Which women literally are. I've seen on a news topic where people was changing words like manpower to team effort and manhole, which is the sewer caps, into maintenance tunnel or work hatch or whatever. It's just stupid.
That's dumb. I don't know why. Listen, I agree that we all should have equal rights, but whatever. But changing it cause you're a woman, like the word manhole cover, it was
Like
an original
teamwork
name.
for like manpower, stuff like that.
Originally was. Don't change it. Change it, in my opinion.
There's several different words.
If you
for
don't
woman.
like-
there's female, woman, and the word woman has literally a man in it. What are you gonna do? Change that from
Yeah.
history?
Yeah. Just like a lot of women believe we should have equal rights, and they want to go push out further and make everything worse for us all.
I seen a topic recently where women's trying to change video game and their perspective on them. Where
What?
then there's this video I seen how women hate video games because it gives males a fantasy of whatever. It was stupid. The women never played video
does it
games. They
mean
couldn't
by-
get a feel for them. They don't like the video games. Women's trying to change the video games. I seen a video on it. They don't like it because they think it's transforming men into what we are now today. I don't care what people say. For example, women. I've been single for 4 years and I'm happy to stay that way. I don't care. People can look
Same
at me like
here.
I'm weird or whatever. I don't care. They can say whatever, but don't change a video game just because of a woman says they don't like it. Keep the video game, because 9 times out of 10, more people are going to say they like the game instead of one person saying they hate it and then they're going to change it. You're going to receive lots of backlash, you're going to lose so much money, and probably get a lawsuit out of it. I've seen people get lawsuits for changing stuff like that.
Now another thing is that when Hillary Clinton run for president, I told people that I didn't like her. I don't think she should be president. People
People
that told
gave
me
you the wrong eye saying, oh, because you don't want a woman for president?
no. I actually have a good reason why Hillary Clinton shouldn't be president. One, she's trying to shut down the coal mines, and she's trying to make me lose my dad's job. My dad
Two, she's trying to
almost
get
lost
rid of
his
video
job because
games.
of my dad almost even lost his job when Barack Obama was president.
A lot of people see disasters in coal mines, but if you're in a state like we are, West Virginia, all you got to do as an adult is either mechanics, welding, or coal mining, which is the 3 biggest industries we've got. We don't got much construction. We bring people out of state into our state for construction. We are based off of welding, mining for coals and minerals, and what was the other thing I said? Welding, construction, not construction, welding, coal mining, and something else.
Coal mining is probably one of the most famous jobs around here. It's been here for a really long time.
We've been mining for years on coal.
Listen, coal gives power, not windmills, okay? Like, say days that aren't rainy or anything, or like windy or something like that. Like, there's no wind coming through and the windmills ain't powering. You won't have power. But coal burns for a really long time, and that gives us power.
How are we going to get windmills in West Virginia with the mountains?
Exactly.
You can't hardly get wind through the valleys and the little rock beds in the bottom of the mountains anymore. The wind just goes over the mountains or through one way of the mountain. You can't expect it and direct it to go one way like you can on a flat land like Ohio for windmills.
A lot of people will just listen to politics and all that other stuff. I don't listen to politics at all. The thing is, the government wants people to listen to them and do what they say, which is one of the reasons why the white people left England. We wanted freedom, not to live under any royalty, queen, or whatever. That's why we came to America and make it the land of the free. We shouldn't have to listen to anybody's rules. Everybody's welcome here. But to me now,
today
people
the
getting
U.S.
all
is changing so much.
Yeah.
From what it was back then to be free, you can't hardly be free anymore with all this crap happening. Illegal immigrants coming in. And with illegal immigrants, there's nothing wrong about it. I can understand moving to the land of the free to need help and a new place to live. But if you're doing it and doing wrong, it's setting people bad examples of what you're doing. Building a wall, that's one example of it. Having all Mexicans or most Mexicans deported, wrong.
But Trump, he's trying to, I believe what Trump is doing about the deportation, I think he's trying to do a good job on it. That's my opinion, though, is that
he's trying to do
right,
but he's going to have more wrong than right.
No. Listen, Trump is trying to deport all the bad immigrants, because a lot of those immigrants that's coming through America are either drug dealers or criminals that can cause harm to the U.S. You know where weed, meth, heroin came from? Mexico.
Not weed, but weed has been a herb in the U.S. for a long time. But meth, heroin, crack, crystal, whatever you want to call all the different types of drugs, crocodile, all that stuff has been transported, and mostly cocaine's coming from Mexico.
Yeah, that's what Trump
cartels and Mexican mafia and everything.
that's what Trump is trying to do. He's trying to solve that problem.
By building a wall, I don't see how. People, the ICE, aka Border Patrol and ICE, for immigration, they discovered a almost 20-mile long tunnel that narcotics people like Mexicans or whatever cartel they would use to transfer from Mexico to the U.S. I think it was Texas or California or one of them. But they had a 20-mile long tunnel that they dug under the border, and they would transfer the drugs into a old house where people lived, and they would smuggle the drugs out from there, from Mexico under the border into the U.S. Mexicans are they're going to think of many ways.
Yeah, they will.
Of many ways, either tunneling, smuggling through vehicles, which they're trying to already. Mexicans, they're cracking down on the U.S., and the U.S. is cracking down on the Mexicans. Mexicans are about fed up with Americans, and we're fed up with the illegal immigrants bringing all the drugs and stuff in.
If people are listening to this, hearing us talk about Mexicans, they're probably the sensitive people, like, oh, boo, they're horrible. They're speaking about Mexican Americans.
They should say stuff before anything. Just listen.
CJ, can you please let me listen? Let me talk for about 5 minutes. But here's the thing, though. People are too sensitive. But we're speaking out facts, okay? A lot of immigrants are actually bad. Some are good, some are bad. That's with it. Land of the freedom. Yeah, right. More like land of the sissies. That's what this place has gone to. People are too sensitive now.
People is having riots over all this conflict because deportation or women's superior, people's having riots about it and protests and everything. That's stupid. If you want to make a point out, set it online. Have a bunch of people follow it and retweet. Don't go out in public. Have almost 1,000 people go and then have a big, huge riot/protest. That's how you get people shot because people act stupid, or you're going to have so many people arrested for the wrong reason.
Gay rights. What's with all this gay rights stuff? I think gay is disgusting, honestly. Now, you people may hate me for this, but I do not like gay people at all. I don't. First of all, it's wrong.
It's a sin.
Even if you're lesbian, bi, or trans,
pan, whatever you want to say about yourself. There's only two genders. Male, only
female. Two genders, male and female. Male is supposed to like the female, female is supposed to like the male. That's not right. This world was created by Adam and Eve. No, listen.
It says it's a sin.
Yeah. This world was created by Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
Yeah, no kidding.
And first of all, people are going to say, oh, tattoo's a sin, piercing is a sin, you can't do that. No. I believe if you're wanting to get a tattoo, it's got to have a meaning to it. Like, you just can't get a tattoo just for looking bad or looking cool and all that other stuff. Tattoo's gotta have a meaning to it.
People think a lot of stuff is demonic, like tattoos or some necklaces and piercings, as he was saying. People think it's demonic, and some Christians just go overboard about it. People get tattoos and piercings because they feel like they need to represent something, which is fine. But if you're going to have like a rainbow tattoo or whatever that's going to say hashtag gays or lesbians, whatever, that's going to stand out to somebody, then they get into a conflict over it, and you know it's going to happen, don't. It just makes the world a better place to not get a tattoo like that to start conflict, or to represent something like that. If you're going to, hide it.
Yeah. But a lot of Christians, they can't hide it. They have to, first off, a lot of people, like the government, they hate Christians, first off.
Mm-hmm.
They hate Christianity. Jews and all that other stuff, which
Even
they
though our land
they
was
take them
based
to a
off of
place.
land of the free in Christianity.
Yeah, basically Christians are getting taken to some place I don't know where and get executed. First off, this government is starting to turn into the new Nazis.
They're technically neo-Nazis already.
Yeah,
Like
basically.
ISIS. ISIS is neo-Nazis, decapitating Christians and Muslims. People that believe in Christianity, decapitated no matter what. Bombings in America, terrorist attacks, all because people being Christian and we're land of the free.
I don't care what people. I don't care if you hate me and I'm gonna die if I'm a Christian. I'll die as a Christian. How about that?
I don't
Here,
see
deal
nothing
with
wrong with it. I was raised with
I don't
being
see-
Christian. There's no harm in being a Christian. You believe in what you believe in, and people just can't seem to understand that. Same thing with gay people. I see where they're coming from and try and compare it with Christianity to where we believe our thing, they believe theirs. But if you're going to go and protest and have a riot about it, you wonder why people is not believing in the crap and don't want that. It's causing problems for Americans.
People will just want something to believe in. All right. People just wants to be ruled or something, having rules or whatever. But
England.
have you seen? Yes. Have you seen where people are stomping on our American flag?
Yeah. You see
That's
how some
dumb.
army people, some Army, Marines, Navy, Air Force, some of those people are retired and they're stomping on our own flag that they fought for.
In my opinion, if you don't like this country,
Get
out. Go to Canada. See how you'll do. See how you like that.
Go to a different country if you don't like ours. Ours is based off of the land of the free. Not people that's going to come in and mess the country up. These laws are put in place in America to save people. And people is breaking the laws. And it's hurting people. It's doing wrong to people. People's doing wrong to us. The good people gets punishment for what the bad people do.
Like gun rights. I believe in having guns. I believe in my Second Amendment right to bear arms. And
Right
people
to
are
bear
trying
arms
to
is
try.
fair.
Yeah, and people is trying to screw with our Second Amendment right. And I
can see where
believe
you
if
don't
you're trying
like
to
guns,
screw,
but
but if you're trying to mess with our Second Amendment right, what about the First Amendment right, freedom of speech? Should we mess around with that?
nope. Even though the
No.
police have literally like overpower of the Constitution. When you say First Amendment, they say plead the Fifth or whatever. You say you have the right to remain silent. It's either A, you shut up, or B, you're going to get another charge on the police. And it will happen if you don't shut up when they tell you to. And you don't get to exercise your rights because when you're in cuffs of the police or whatever and arrest, your rights and Constitution's gone straight up.
Because you broke the law.
Not because you broke the law, but the laws are being broken so much, and our judicial, legislative branches are so corrupt from the government. Nobody's doing the right thing. People are standing up for the Constitution, but are they being looked at? No, they're being shunned away because people think the old American is the bad American. They're looking at the new America and what it's supposed to do and what it's supposed to do for the future, not what it's doing to the future of ruining it. The old America was
Want to hear
not
something?
bad.
You want to hear something funny though? Is that you know how California basically banned every single gun that there is in that state? You know how they did that? That they voted for that? Well, a man tried to buy a gun in California, and he lives in that state, and he wants to buy a gun. He went up to the the registry, and he asked for a gun, and he says, all right, we're gonna have to do a background check. We have to give it like maybe a week or so, and we have to make sure you don't have any criminal acts or right. He says, I'm a good person, and why do I have to go through all that and wait for 2 weeks? He said, we would have gotten it closer to like 2 days, but that's what you all voted for, not me.
Yeah.
And he says, well, can I have, what kind of handguns, what kind of guns do you have? All we have are pistols. He asked, why don't you have any shotguns here? And he says, you voted for that, not me. And he also, he was so mad and all that stuff, he has to wait, and there aren't more guns. It says, alright, do you have any 15 mags? 15 capacity mags here? And he cashier said, nope, only 10s or belows. And he said, but why? You voted for that?
You voted for it,
not me. And he was still so mad. And there was a bunch of people waiting in line too.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of Americans are running what we need instead of what they want. We need extended clips. We need more ammunition. We need high-powered
clips,
rifles.
magazines.
Yes, magazines.
But the thing is, it's called a magazine. You know what the clip is? It's inside the mag.
Clip. Yeah. Extended magazines and stuff like that. We need more of those. Because people bring illegal firearms in, where if we have a civilian rifle, like an M4 carbine, civilian semi-automatic with a 30-round mag, we have a chance against a fully automatic M4, AK, or Tech 9s and drive-bys and stuff. About it.
And people blame the gun.
Firearms are getting banned.
And people blame the gun, not the person.
The person is what does the harm, not the weapon.
Yeah. Like, hold on.
The weapon cannot pull its own trigger. It can send the bullet down the barrel, but you pull the trigger, not the gun. No matter what the weapon does or what it's capable of, you know what it's capable of, and you use it for your advantage or ill intent.
Like, hold on. Got me good. Go ahead, gun. Go kill. Kill somebody. Go on. Don't be shy. It's right there. There's a person right there. Go on. Kill. See? Guns don't kill people. People kill people. Why people have the gun to defend themselves.
And you wonder why people have guns? Self-defense. Because today's system is so bad. Protests, coronavirus, people's breaking into houses, and they're literally scavenging people's houses at gunpoint, taking their food from people that bought the food. Which is not right. People's going to get firearms, and then you literally can't even get firearms because people's banning them. People that is anti-gun is going for guns, and they're looking for self-defense, but the weapons they banned they're looking for that they want, they can't get because they banned them.
My friend's dad, he got my semi-automatic shotgun just the other day. Oh, I feel bad for the person that breaks in his house.
Oh yeah.
It's a monster.
If it's a semi-automatic shotgun, legislative or Democrats going to look at it. They're going to say that weapon's too overpowered. If somebody comes in, that will kill. That's what weapons are meant for. They're meant to kill, but they don't kill people. You do. You have the option to spare somebody's life instead of shoot them in the chest or the head or the main arteries. You can shoot them in the leg and knock them on the ground. They have the chance to still survive by throwing the weapon away from them or point the gun at the dude that's still armed.
Yep.
If somebody broke into my room now, I've got a 9 and 45 ACP. They come in, I can spare them. I can either hold them at gunpoint, tell them to leave, or I can shoot them in the arm or the leg. I have the chance to kill them, but I won't. But if they try to shoot at me first, I have every intent to shoot at them. And legislative again, daggone it, Democrats and Republicans can't see self-defense weapons is good. They just see weapons as killing machines. Because of all the wars that's happened. Wars don't cause weapons to get banned. People cause weapons to get banned for what they believe in. They believe in weapons are wrong. Weapons are not wrong. You use them wrong. Weapons can be seen as mass destruction. They can also be seen as self-defense. I have weapons for self-defense and hunting, not for ill intent.
Yeah.
People
Well, we're
can't
gonna stop
seem
the
to
po-
see that.
Oh.
That's sad.
Yeah. We're gonna stop that podcast here. Like, we've been doing this for like 2 hours or something like that.
Our podcast is now at 1 hour, 28 minutes, and 25 seconds.
Well, that's close enough.
Alright, we're
You
going
wanna
to
stop
end
it
at
here?
the 1:30 mark. Before we go, we're going to talk about gaming one more time. If you are subscribed to my channel or Punisher, try to leave a comment and explain on what you would think would be good for console on console, or what you believe in for the gaming topic. If we should have more games come out for PlayStation only, people go to Xbox only, PlayStation only, or whatever you believe in your gaming conspiracies / beliefs.
Yeah.
You got anything else to say, Ethan?
I do not.
Alright, the time currently is 11:14, Sunday, May the 3rd. The time of the stream is 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 33 seconds. And this is where we're going to end.